if you'll agree in prayer, one of you can do this, but what can two of you do? And when they're one accord, all of a sudden things started changing in the book of Acts because he's so into unity. But he said to me, listen, you think of unity this way and this way and this way, but reach back. Reach back to what I said 200 years ago. Reach back to what I said 400 years ago. So he's been taking me back to our founders and what they said. I made a point, first time I've ever done this, so this July 4th, just to make sure I listen to the Declaration of Independence. My next assignment is I'm going to read and start praying the Constitution, because I believe God birthed these documents. And now what he's saying to me is, I don't want you just to pray what you want. I want you to go back and see what was in their heart, what I put in there when they founded this nation, and I want you to come into agreement with them. And if you'll do that, I'll give you the synergy of the ages. So I'm going to read probably 15, 20 quotes right now. And we're going to find out what God intended for this nation, although most of you know. And then we're going to begin to decree what he says and what they said and ask him to give us a synergy. Maybe 50,000 people could agree right now, or over the next week. Maybe from Hawaii to Maine, believers could lay hold of what I'm about to read and say, I agree with that, and offer a decree from ecclesia, his ecclesia, and say, this is what we decree is going to happen. I hope you like these quotes as much as I do, and if you don't, you need to repent. What is the destiny of America? What did God have in mind when it was founded? When it started before 1776? When they started coming with the first white settlements. Well, what was God up to? Well, you don't have to look far. Just look at the words of Robert Hunt in 1607. When they landed at Cape Henry, and he planted a cross on the beach. And I don't know if he called it prophecy or not, but he prophesied the destiny of America. He said, from these very... Now, you do realize he did this under a planted cross on a beach. And he said, from these very shores, the gospel will go forth to not only this new world, but the entire world. Purpose and destiny of America is not to be the most powerful, although we need to be that to ensure certain things on the planet, that the gospel gets around the world. It's not to be the richest. Getting a little bit of feedback up here, guys, if you can help me out. It's not to be the most wealthy nation, but we need to be probably, I think so anyway, to get done what our destiny is. But it's not a life of ease, and it's certainly not to rule everyone else. The destiny of America was to be a beachhead for the gospel. Not only to this nation, but this guy prophesied to all the nations of the earth. That's the destiny of America. Just a few years later, the next group that came in 1620 wrote the Mayflower Compact. The first governmental document that we know of on this nation's soil. The first constitutional governing document of the Plymouth colony said, having undertaken this whole endeavor, this is why we're here, having undertaken for the glory of God and the advancement of the Christian faith. What's the destiny of America? It's not that complicated, is it? That's why I know in my heart we're about to see another missions movement. We're about to see another revival of missions and raising up of evangelism and prophetic evangelism from these shores to all the nations of the earth. There's coming another wave of missions from America to the nations of the earth. It's our destiny. And we're going to agree tonight, and we're going to call forth that destiny. And no government official and no court and no legislature and no ungodly leader and no lukewarm leader and no compromising church is going to stop it. The fire of God is coming to burn in the Church of America again. And there's another wave of evangelism going around the world. Billy Graham's going to die soon. So is Reinhard Bonnke. But don't worry about it. Because they're going to go to their reward, and as soon as they get there, there is another wave of evangelists that God's about to raise up in this nation. And I'll tell you, it won't be hundreds, it'll be thousands. John Winthrop, the first governor of Massachusetts, said in a writing called A Model of Christian Charity, we shall find, these were the early leaders in America, we shall find that the God of Israel is with us when 10 of us shall be able to resist 1,000 of our enemies. When he shall make us a praise and a glory, that men of succeeding nations shall say, or generations will say, the Lord make it like that of New England. For we must consider that we shall be as a city on a hill, and the eyes of all people are upon us. That's a quote from Matthew 5. See, you got a lot of judges, and we've had a president now that have decreed. We're going to break the power of that decree tonight. That have decreed that we are not a Christian nation. One of those decrees said we're not a Christian, we're a Jewish nation, we're a Buddhist nation, we're a Hindu nation, we're a nation of unbelievers. And Muslim religion has been just as much a part of our history as any other religion. And then this person quoted from the Quran and called it the Holy Quran. There could not be a more fabricated lie decreed over America than that statement. No less than 12 presidents have quoted Matthew 5. That we are a city on a hill, a light to the nations of the earth. Tonight, can I get some synergy of agreement in here? Tonight, not just because of us, but because across this nation, we're going to break that curse off of America that said we are not a Christian, we're anything. No, we're not. We're a beachhead for the gospel. We're a light to the nations. We're a missions nation.